certainly has an unusual name. But make no mistake, pickleball is addictive, and it is the fastest growing sport in America today. So put your questions aside and focus only on this one. Why haven't you played it yet? And while you ponder that, glue yourself into a chair and lock yourself into CBS Sports Network. Because right now, you're about to see the best players in the world battle it out from Naples, Florida. This is the US Open Pickleball Championships. The Paradise Coast of Florida is synonymous with white sand beaches and the warm Gulf of Mexico waters, but it is also now synonymous with pickleball. Welcome to the inaugural US Open Pickleball Championship presented by Minto here at East Naples Community Park in beautiful Naples, Florida. And hello everybody, Dave Benz alongside multi-time champion in the sport, Rob Elliott. Rob, we're happy to have you along.
Thank you.
Pickleball is a sport that is exploding right now nationally.
It really is. It's growing internationally all over the place. People are playing and giving up their other sports because it's one of the most addictive sports out there right now.
7 countries represented in this tournament, in which we will crown a champion here today on CBS Sports Network. Let's get into the rules. A lot of people may be familiar, others may be not. The games will go to 11 points. It's the best of 3. Points can only be scored by serving underhand, and they can only be scored by the serving team. The ball must bounce also on the return in addition to on the serve, and there is a non-volley zone. And Rob, the dimensions of the court similar to badminton in a way.
It is. It's very similar, and they're 20 feet by 44. There's a 7-foot no volley zone each side, and the net is about 34 inches in the middle and 36 inches on the outside.
Yeah, and let's talk a little bit again about the serve. Obviously, it has to bounce when you have the serve, but also it has to bounce on the first return.
Yes, and it's very important what the player does at that point. They're either going to drop it back into the kitchen or they're going to hit a hard shot and follow it in.
And you talk about the kitchen, that is the affectionate term for the non-volley zone. What exactly is going on there?
The non-volley zone is where, in order to go in there, the ball has to bounce first. If not, it's a point for the opposing team.
And if the player goes in there and hits it, that's also a point for the opposing team.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's get you set as we are going to take our first time out. But when we come back, we will be bringing the action and crown a champion here on CBS Sports Network.
US Open of Pickleball Championships on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Wilson, official sponsor of the US Open Pickleball Championships. By Minto, Minto Communities, creating award-winning communities and new homes throughout Florida. And by DecoTurf, official surface of the US Open Pickleball Championships.
And welcome back to beautiful Naples, Florida, a picturesque Saturday evening as we get ready to crown the inaugural men's pro doubles champ and the Minto US Open Pickleball Championships here in Southwest Florida. Here's a look at the finals matchup. It'll be Yates and Weinbach against Moore and Gabrielsen, and both teams got here in decisive fashion, winning 2-0 in their semifinals matchups.
Yeah, they did, and that wasn't easy. The competition they played, I mean, we got former pro tennis players, Davis Cup players here that they had to go through in order to get here.
The weather here today in Naples, you couldn't ask for a better day. Chamber of Commerce weather, 82 degrees, a little breezy with the winds up to 14 miles per hour, but the humidity kept in check at 49%. Should be a whole lot of fun to see these guys go at it, the best in the world. And you talked about it collectively, if you count Canadian titles, 20 national championships between these 4 players.
Yeah, you do. I mean, this is the top players in the world, and they've been dominating for a while. I mean, Wes has been playing. Like I said, just Wes alone has 11 national titles, and it's just amazing.
Yeah, and there's a good look at Wes. Also plays the piano, guitar, and a harmonica. He was born in Salem, Oregon, where he played mostly in soccer and tennis growing up. He switched to playing pickleball full-time back in 2013.
And the amazing thing with Wes, you're going to see here, is he's truly ambidextrous.
And his teammate Daniel Moore, 27 years old in his third year, actually lives in Japan, was born and raised in Japan, and his father, Scott Moore, a pretty good pickleball player in his own right, and taught him the game and was Daniel's partner until recently when Daniel decided that he would need to go off with a younger player if he was really going to achieve higher levels of the sport. And we talked about Kyle Yates already, the local kid who no doubt will have plenty of fan support here tonight.
Yeah, he definitely is. I mean, like I said, 3-time national champion, only 21 years old. He's going to have many more national titles. And then his partner, Dave Weinbach, 2-time national champion last year. So this is going to be a great match of top players in the world.
Dave Weinbach already played on this court earlier today, and he was on the losing side of the mixed doubles championship. Pickleball right now, the numbers are just mind-blowing. 2 million players estimated to be playing right now in the United States, and they're expecting that number to grow to 8 million by 2018. 68% of the players playing right now are estimated to be at least 60 years old, but that is a number that is continually dropping. And we are just about set for pickleball, as Byron Frezzo, the official for today's match, has told both sides the warm-up period is over, and we are just about set for the men's pro doubles.
Okay, here we go.
The inaugural champion about to be crowned in US Open Pickleball history. Weinbach tries to get aggressive there and sends it just a little bit too deep out of bounds. Actually, they called that in. I thought it was out.
I thought that was out also.
So instead it's a side out.
I think we're going to notice in this game, you know, the strategy of hitting in the kitchen. You're going to see a lot of it here since these guys are so seasoned. There's very few mistakes, as we just saw Weinbach to make an unforced error there.
So the serve will go over from Yates to Weinbach. Neither side letting the ball touch the ground.
Yeah. And this is interesting. They're just going back and forth, backhand to backhand. It's a little bit of an easier shot going backhand.
Weinbach decides to switch it up.
Oh!
And Gabrielsen able to make them pay. So that'll force the side out. The serve will go back over to Gabrielsen and Moore.
0-0-1.
Oh, and you can see Weinbach did what we call in the pickleball world an Ernie, where you actually go outside the court over by the post to try to get the ball just as it comes over the net.
And then Gabrielsen with the aggressive shot there to get his team on the board. First point of the match. Just in, and Weinbach tries to go around the post, which is a legal shot, but cannot get it in.
2-0-1. Point.
That ball was long, so now a 3-0 lead.
And that's a rare mistake by Yates. And this is rather interesting that you can see the strategy there, who they're deciding to try to play. Dan and Weinbach are the ones that they're going to try to keep the ball to right now.
Both Daniel Moore and Dave Weinbach played earlier today in the mixed doubles championship on this court. Moore's side taking the gold.
And a great shot by Weinbach there, putting the pressure on Gabrielsen.
0-3-1.
So first point of the game for Yates and Weinbach.
As you see here, the strategy here of just dinking in the kitchen. Oh, and Weinbach goes for around the post, and it's good.
Yeah, beautifully executed, goes around the post. It does not have to go over the net in pickleball. And Gabrielsen was in bounds when it hit him.
And that's one of the strategies, too. When you play at this caliber, you really have to be careful not to hit the ball that wide, because exactly that reason. They're going to go around the post, and pretty much all these guys can hit it every time.
So now Yates will serve. was a little bit long, so second server now as Weinbach. It was Daniel Moore thinking it was side out, but instead it's just the serve going over to Weinbach. Each side getting each player to serve before a side out is called.
Oh, quick reaction by Gabrielsen there.
Weinbach unable to catch up to it, and now that is a side out. Side out, of course, when the serve changes sides.
And you can see here what we call stacking in pickleball. It's where both people are on the same side there when they start. We'll see if it happens here too.
Weinbach hits it right into Gabrielsen, who couldn't react quickly enough. Now back to live action. What reaction time by both players, but Gabrielsen hits it long.
1-3-1.
So side out serve going back over. Weinbach will try to close the deficit and does just that.
And that's a great third shot by Weinbach there, dropping it so short over the net. So Moore couldn't do anything with it.
Yates able to keep it in bounds.
And you see these guys, they're picking up a little bit the pace. Instead of going to the soft thinking, trying to set up, they're just going for the shots right off the bat, just like that.
And now for the first time in this match, the lead changes hands.
4-3-1.
Great shot by Weinbach there.
Gabrielsen unable to catch up with it. Now they'll force the change of serve.
4-3-2.
Yates with an aggressive, Moore with an aggressive play, and Weinbach tries to answer, instead hits it into the net.
Great shot by Weinbach.
Yeah, it was set up too easily for Weinbach as he was able to just smash that thing in and out.
Yeah, and here we have the stacking again here with West serving and Dan. What that does is favors a little stronger player, putting their forehand in the middle of the court, which is very common.
And you can stack either way, correct? On defense as well as offense.
You can see it right now with Gabrielsen off the court there with Moore in the back.
And by defense and offense, I mean serving and obviously receiving.
Right, yep. You don't see it a whole lot in men's doubles or women's doubles. You see it a lot in mixed doubles.
Timeout at 5-3-1. 1 minute, gentlemen.
So a timeout has been taken as Yates Weinbach had pushed it up to a 2-point advantage. Gabrielsen Moore trying to stop the momentum. And welcome back. The sun is setting here in Naples, Florida as the Minto US Open Pickleball Championship Men's Pro Doubles first ever champion to be crowned. And the game equipment, it's made of high-tech composite in terms of the paddles. It doesn't matter, it can be long, it can be wide, but the combined width and length may not exceed 24 inches. Played with a plastic wiffle ball, which goes about a third of the speed of a tennis ball. It's really the great neutralizer, as allows young and old to compete at a similar level. And Moore with the unforced error there. So the timeout does not do its job. The momentum continues for Yates and Weinbach.
And a great shot by Gabrielsen there.
Put it exactly in a spot where Weinbach had really no chance to return it.
And you can see that's a very common thing. The shot down the middle is really important, considered one of the best shots in the game.
And now side out. So Gabrielsen and Moore a chance to try and climb back in this thing, down 6-3.
And here you can see Moore and Gabrielsen back at the baseline, which is a disadvantage. They really want to get to net, so you can see them trying to work in, but just couldn't do it.
It was a great play by Moore, though, to save it off of the smash, but Gabrielsen unable to keep it going. Another look at it. And now into the net by Daniel Moore.
Yeah, that's not a common thing from Daniel Moore there at all. Another good third, what we call a third shot. Up, and Yates gets another around the post, just like his partner did earlier when Weinbach got that earlier in the game.
And he's fired up about it, too. That'll get a rise out of this Southwest Florida crowd.
Yeah. You can see as the game goes on and everything, you know, the adrenaline start going in some of these players and getting a little more excited.
And Weinbach putting his fist in the air. Let's take a look back at that around the post for the point.
8-3-1.
Here we go. And the secret to around the post is letting the ball drop to only about an inch above the ground and then swinging straight through it. It's really a shot you have to master, but these guys do it all the time.
That last return out of bounds, so 9-3 the lead here.
Great reaction from all the players here, and they're back into the dinking game. Then just caught Yates by
the unforced error. So much of this game, Rob, is about patience and letting the other team create an unforced error.
It is, but you can see these guys are really trying to go on the offense there. But the game is typically more of a patience game there, waiting for the mistake. But you can see here they're really attacking.
Wow, Weinbach was a magician there for a little while.
Yeah, that's amazing. You see the talent in Daniel Moore there, being all over the court, moving almost like a cat on the court, being able to cover the entire court there.
Yeah, he was working his magic, but in the end, he ran out of it.
Here's back to the patience game that we were talking about.
And back to the power game.
Yep.
And it yields a point to get it to 9-4.
Statistics-wise, the first person to start the banging game actually loses the point, actually.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting. Weinbach right there, putting it away. That'll force the serve to change hands, go over to
4-9-2.
Gabrielsen. You get a sense that they need a few more points here on this turn with the serve. They get it back over to Weinbach and Yates. Down this big, it's going to be big trouble in game one.
Oh, that's just amazing point there. And all of the players and the reaction, slowing it up, speeding it up again.
5-9-2.
How about the camaraderie between these guys? Because, Rob, so many of these players play with each other and then against each other. It's very common to play against one guy in one event and then with the guy in another event.
Yeah, it's really true. And they do switch around quite a bit and everything, but it's such a... the people here that are playing, all these, they're such great people and everything, and they're really for each other, even when they're against each other.
Well, Kyle Yates was teammates with Wes Gabrielsen in this very tournament earlier this week in the men's 19 and over
Yes.
doubles.
Side out.
So the side out there.
9-6-1.
So a 9-6 lead now as Yates Weinbach look to close out game one. They need 2 more points.
And you can see the importance here of the dinking game. You know, unless the ball bounces inside the no volley zone, which is also called the kitchen, you can't actually step inside that first 7 feet and hit the ball.
And if your momentum takes you in after hitting a shot, that's also a fault.
Yes.
Wow, what a shot!
That's amazing.
And Weinbach gets his team within a point of game one.
Timeout at 10-6-1.
And the first timeout called by Moore and Gabrielsen here.
And we will take a break here as well from Naples, Florida. And back here in Naples, Florida, a 10-6 lead for Yates Weinbach, looking to try and close out game one here in the Minto US Open Pickleball Championship. What is pickleball? Well, it's a combination of ping pong, badminton, and tennis. And boy, what a sport it really has become. It has been catching on nationally and expected to grow even more over the next several years.
You can see why here, the talent and the shots. I mean, you need to have both the the reflexes, and also, you know, patience and the ability to have quick reactions.
A long rally on game point, but finally sent into the net by Weinbach. So now the second serve will go over to his teammate, Kyle Yates. And 5-hole goes Daniel Moore between the legs of Weinbach to force the side out.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is put the ball up high to any of these guys there, because you know the ball's just going to be put away. And a great block shot from Gabrielsen to get into the kitchen. And here we are back. You can see the theme here that each team has selected that person they're going to pick on. So Moore and Gabrielsen's picking on Weinbach.
And Weinbach says,
Yep.
You want to pick on me? That's just fine.
Yep. That's amazing reaction there.
6-10-2.
Key moment in this match is Moore really needs to get some points.
Yeah. And it was a great way. They were keeping Moore back there, but you can see that he just made some great shots and was able to get to the kitchen. So now it's really a chess game.
Weinbach
he's
sends it
getting all
deep.
pumped up there.
They got a little bit overly aggressive.
Yeah. And the amazing thing, he's just so fast, so full of energy there. And the amazing thing with the Weinbach too, you can see that he doesn't really move his feet. You're going to see the other players really moving there a lot and everything. He plants his feet and just has an amazing reach, which is very kind of unique in the sport.
And the way he spins is amazing as well.
Yeah.
And now another point, Gabrielsen Moore narrowing the gap here to 10-8. Remember, the score goes to 11, but you must win by 2.
Yep. And Gabrielsen's working his way in, but just quite couldn't get there. And Weinbach taking advantage that he's back and not quite at the kitchen.
So it's side out and now match, or excuse me, not match, but game point here in game 1 of this match.
And we're back to the strategy of both, and Moore couldn't quite handle it. Weinbach slicing shots.
So there you have it. Game 1 goes to Yates. Weinbach 11-8. Game 2 between these two teams coming your way next here on CBS Sports Network. Back here in Naples, Florida, as the sun hangs low in the sky over the Gulf of Mexico. And take a look at some of the stats from the first game. Each team with 6 unforced errors. Gabrielsen and Moore, a few more blocked shots. But it was Yates Weinbach who win it 11-8, and now a chance to try and take the title in this best 2 out of 3 scenario. And Dave Benz alongside Rob Elliott, along with our CBS Sports Network crew here in Naples, Florida. And Rob, you spent some time playing alongside the youngster Kyle Yates in your past pickleball career.
Yeah, last year we played quite a few tournaments together. We won the 19+ national titles together last year, and we played quite a bit together.
All right, gentlemen.
Kyle Yates, no doubt a crowd favorite, being a native of Southwest Florida.
0-0-2.
Currently a Florida Gator. He's taking online classes at the University of Florida as he has devoted his full-time attention to pickleball.
And he is one of the top players. We probably have Kyle, he's probably the 3rd best player in the world right now.
Kyle, one of only 49 players east of the Mississippi to receive the top rating in pickleball. Nice work at the net there by Daniel Moore.
0-1-1.
Oh, great hands by Gabrielsen there, just knowing what Yates was going to do there and just waiting with an answer.
1-1-1.
Interesting there in the first game with Yates and everything, Weinbach was playing against Moore, and then they just changed it right there to Weinbach going against Gabrielsen there. Yep, here they go.
That time Weinbach switches it up.
And here they're moving the ball. Weinbach tried to do what's called an Ernie. come right by the post to get the ball as it goes over the net.
Yates sends it out of bounds.
Yep.
You are allowed to jump over the kitchen,
Yes, you are.
but you cannot land in it. You're not allowed to step in it unless the ball bounces in it.
Right, so what a lot of players are going to do, and you're going to probably see Weinbach and Yates, they do that a lot. When if they know the ball's going to come back to them next to the sideline, they actually hop over the kitchen, out of bounds, and they catch the ball right as it goes over the net. And it's really amazing. You really have to be fast.
You know, the skill level of these players right now is just something to watch as they execute what we just talked about. They've already executed around the post perfectly.
Yeah, it's really what everybody in the pickleball world pretty much calls. It's really a chess game up there. Once you get to the kitchen, on trying to open it up, move the ball around, and trying to expose the weakness of your opponents.
Weinbach unable to get to it, but Yates has his back, and then what reaction here by the entire allotment of players on the court.
And they're able to force Gabrielsen and Moore back, and see, as you can tell, once you're back, you have a hard time winning the point there.
And Weinbach got everybody leaning the wrong direction as well.
Yeah, this is, you could just really see the energy out of Weinbach here. He's pumped. He wants this game.
47 years old. Has three boys, Jake, Ryan, and Sam, who all play. He just built his own court at his house up in Wisconsin so he can play more. And is really trying to grow the sport in the upper Midwest.
And that's a rare unforced error from Daniel Moore there.
Timeout at 4-1.
And Gabrielsen and Moore want to use a timeout as they can feel momentum right now on the side of Yates and Weinbach, who are 7 points away from being your inaugural men's pro doubles champs. Here's a look at the upcoming events on the USAPA calendar. June 2nd through 5th, Kalamazoo, Michigan, then Bend, Oregon, then New Mexico, Ohio, and Maine, as well as June 24th through 26th, the Meyer State Games in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
US Open Pickleball Championships on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by Pickleball Central. Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore. By Zing Zang, not just another Bloody Mary mix. And by Convention and Visitors Bureau, Florida's Paradise Coast.
Back here at the Minto US Open Pickleball Championship, Zing Zang Championship Court, one of 48 courts here at the East Naples Community Park, put in by the Collier County Parks and Rec Division. There are 9 original courts here. You see the size, the dimensions for the pickleball court there. And boy, what a good investment it was to put these courts here in this park. As Jim Ludwig, the US Open event director and USAPA ambassador, telling me earlier this week that there are hundreds of people lined up here every day to come play pickleball.
It's really a following here. I mean, it's 7 days a week. People here, courts full, playing, and that's how fast it's growing. Another rare mistake by Gabrielsen there.
And a key forced side out for that side. Excuse me, 6-2 now.
Yep, and second serve for Yates and Weinbach here. Yep, and it's just Gabrielsen putting the ball up a little too high to Weinbach.
And a commanding 7-2 lead. This is not really what we expected, Rob, is it? And you caught Yates trying to cut in front of Weinbach and ends up getting hit by the shot.
Yep, Yates was really looking to take advantage and hoping the ball was going to be a little higher than it was, so he could surprise Gabrielsen and Moore.
And this is a serving opportunity that cannot be wasted by Gabrielsen Moore. They have to gain some ground to get back in this match.
They do. You don't want to go back to Yates and Weinbach with where they only need 4 more points for the win. It'll be really hard to come back if they get any more points.
And Yates
27,
able to send it off of the racket out of bounds at Gabrielsen.
3-7-2.
Some more now with the serve. Out of bounds. And here we go. This is exactly what we talked about.
7-3-1.
Yates and Weinbach now 4 points away from the championship. Weinbach
Great
able to
reaction.
scoop it out, absolutely.
Weinbach doing a good job getting back into the kitchen area and right back to the chess game here. Trying to wait for someone to hit the ball a little too high.
Weinbach has played impressive in this match, Rob.
He's been playing impressive all week. He's just really doing a good job.
But even more so than what we saw in the mixed doubles earlier today. It seems like he's elevated his game another notch from that match.
Yeah, I think he really has. Now that happens a lot playing with Yates, and you can see how they're both excited, feeding off of each other, and the excitement between each other. Just there's a paddle tap there.
8-3-1.
Now 3 points away.
Yeah, he's all hyped up. You could see it.
So a 9-3 lead.
Yeah. So definitely this game is definitely one-sided at the moment.
They can sniff the championship.
You can see they're moving a little faster. There's Yates trying to do what's called an Ernie.
And that falls in.
It's a great move by Moore, letting that go. Could have costed him though.
It looked from my angle like it was in, but they do rule it out.
Yes. And that's the thing with pickleball. It's a little bit difficult because it's a hard ball. It doesn't compress like in tennis. So, even though it does look in, it could be out because of the curvature of the ball. So it's really important to have line judges on these type of events here. The finals of big tournaments.
So Gabrielsen Moore get back to serve, down 9-3 and 1 game to none.
Gabrielsen Moore, they've been down like this before and come back and won many times. It's going to be interesting to see if they can do it here. And Moore thinking the ball's going out again and taking a chance, but it fell in.
So now the serve switches to Gabrielsen. And now the serve switches back.
Yeah, just the reaction time of Yates and Weinbach is just too fast for Gabrielsen Moore right now.
9-3-1. That is your final timeout.
So the final timeout being taken is Yates Weinbach have an opportunity to serve out the match here in Naples, Florida after this quick break. Back here in Naples, Florida, Yates Weinbach on the verge of putting their names in the history books. They need 2 more points to be the inaugural men's pro doubles champs at the US Pickleball Open Championship. And we mentioned pickleball today, how it is absolutely exploding. Over 2 million people playing across the country.
And the great thing you can see there is that it's split pretty evenly between male and female. So it's a sport of all people of all ages, young, mid-age, and the older, and everybody can play together.
This tournament, over $25,000 in prize money total. The winner of this match to get $3,000, the winning team. Losing team will take home $1,000, and you would expect that the prize money is something that will also grow as time goes on. And that point going to Yates Weinbach, so here we go, match point as Weinbach looks to serve for the title.
Weinbach and Yates they have very few mistakes, playing really smart.
Out of bounds.
Oh, almost match right there. Just fell a little long.
So now Yates will have the chance to serve it out.
10-3-2.
And there it is. Moore unable to get to it. The unforced error and a beautiful drop shot. And Kyle Yates along with Dave Weinbach, the local kid and the man from Wisconsin, take home the championship.
Thank you. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Fine judges, thank you very much for your service. And for everyone,
It just hit off the top of the net.
great time.
Yeah.
Daniel Moore unable to react in time.
That's
Yates feeling pretty good about winning a title here in basically his hometown.
Yeah, it is. It's great for him. He's the local pro and everything, and everyone's seeing him as the top player. So it's great for Yates to win tonight.
We will hear from him and have the presentation of the medals after this timeout here on CBS Sports Network.
US Open of Pickleball Championships on CBS Sports Network is being brought to you by the US Open. Save the date for the 2017 US Open Pickleball Championships in Naples, Florida, April 25th through 30th. By Paddle Tech, the official paddle of the US Open Pickleball Championships. And by Pickleball X, powered by Franklin Sports.
Back here in Naples, Florida, it is all over. Your pro men's doubles champs, your inaugural US Open Pickleball champs, 11-8, 11-3, as Kyle Yates and Dave Weinbach take it. Some of the final stats from the championship match. And before we talk to our winners, let's bring you back here to Zing Zang Championship Court. And let's welcome in Bill Bullock, the Vice President of Minto, the naming sponsor of this tournament. And you're going to make a championship presentation.
Thank you, Dave, Kyle. On behalf of Minto and the U.S. Open Pickleball Championships, I want to present you with your winnings. Incredible game, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Bill. And let's talk to our champs. Kyle, this is basically a home game for you. How big was it to be able to have the crowd support and to be able to win in front of them?
Man, it's awesome. I remember my first tournament here when I was 16, 5 years ago, and we played on portable nets and blue painter's tape lines. And for the whole directing crew and Bill from Minto to put on this amazing event, and for this, just to prove how big the sport really is, it's incredible. And for me to win it here, it's unbelievable. It's awesome, really.
Yeah, soaking it all in. Congratulations. And Dave, we saw you earlier today in the mixed doubles. You didn't fare as well. I'm guessing if you were going to take one of the two, this is probably the one you would have picked.
This is sweet, baby. This is really sweet. But I want to thank Jim Ludwig and Chris and Terry, who ran this tournament, to put on an unbelievable tournament. The atmosphere here tonight and the electricity, we as players, we feed off that energy. And playing with my friend Kyle tonight was one of the most highlights of my life in terms of my athletic life. And this was so much fun to compete against arguably two of the top 5 players in the world. And what an atmosphere and a stage to do it on.
Congratulations, gentlemen. Soak it in. Enjoy it. Your inaugural men's pro division doubles champs here at the US Open Pickleball Championship. Before we let you go, we want to recap what happened with the other 2 doubles pro finals here on Championship Court earlier today in Naples. The first match of the day featured the pro mixed doubles, and a pair of the contestants you just saw in the men's final. Daniel Moore was teamed up with Sarah Ansboury. Ansboury, a 10-year tennis pro out of Portland, Oregon, who has switched recently exclusively to pickleball and with fantastic results. They were teamed up against the team of Dave Weinbach, who you just saw, and Gigi LeMaster, a native of Belgium, who has picked up pickleball and has really been an ambassador for the sport back in Belgium. This thing was one-sided from the get-go as Ansboury came out of the gates on fire. She reeled off 8 consecutive points to open the match. That despite Weinbach and LeMaster burning a timeout to try and stop the momentum. It was to no avail. Ansboury Moore take game 1 11-3. Game 2 was a little bit more competitive, but in the end, the same result. Ansboury Moore take that game 11-6. They win it in straight games to be your inaugural US Open Pickleball Championships mixed doubles pro division champs.
And you see both guys standing in the middle of the court looking for the ball.
Great reaction by Moore.
Oh, Sarah goes for it, and that's it.
There it is, championship point. And they celebrate at center court. Ansboury and Moore win it 11-3, 11-6.
A round of applause
Yeah,
for Dave
that's pretty
Weinbach,
impressive.
Gigi LeMaster, right there.
We're happy to have the champions with me. And Sarah, let's begin with you because you began this match in unbelievable fashion. You ran off, I believe, 8 straight points to start game 1.
Yeah, it was really comfortable, and I think the excitement and just being on the court, we're ready to play this. We were really stoked for the final. We wanted to come out like 100%, and you know, it felt really, really, really good, and a lot of consistency in our game, and it was so important for us to come out strong and not make a lot of errors and just be a strong, solid start so we could finish solid all the way through.
Well, it was impressive. Daniel, let's get to you. There was aggressive play on both ends. You guys were trying to finish it. The other side was trying to get back in it. But I thought one of the key moments in the match was the strategy you guys used to call a timeout in game 2 when they had a little bit of momentum going.
Yeah, they had a run going, and we thought it would be a good time to just kind of cool things off, get our talk about our strategy again, slow it down, and we got the side out right away, and then we're able to finish it, I think, a couple side outs later. So
the second match of the day was the women's doubles Pro Division Championship here on center court, and once again Sarah Ansboury was in the match, competing in her 6th match of the day. This time teamed with Christine McGrath, and McGrath 7 months pregnant, expecting her 2nd daughter coming up later on this summer. This duo actually had good success earlier in the week. They won a gold medal in the women's 25 and over bracket on opening day. They were paired up this time against Laura Fenton-Kovanda, a converted racquetball player who actually was ranked in the top 10 in the United States 7 times in her racquetball career, qualified for the US Olympic team 3 times before the sport was removed from the Olympics. She was teamed with Corrine Carr, a former golfer at the University of South Carolina who's now working on her PhD at Michigan State. And Fenton-Kovanda and Carr, they really held their own against Ansboury McGrath in game 1. In the end, Ansboury McGrath take it 11-8. But game 2, not much of a contest as Ansboury McGrath find their stride and win it in dominating fashion, 11-2. So they take it in straight games to become the first ever Pro Division women's champs here at the US Open Pickleball Championships, and they were one happy pair after the match. Christine, let's begin with you. 7 months pregnant, this is nothing new. You did it last year, but I know a lot of people at home are amazed at the level that you're able to play at while carrying your 2nd child.
Yeah, I'm grateful that I've been healthy and the baby's healthy, and the OB gave me the 100% okay to play, and I got to come out here for the first US Open Pickleball Championships, and it was awesome.
And you're taking home a couple of titles. I know you guys won the 19 and over division as well on Wednesday, and you won the mixed doubles Pro Division title earlier here today. So I'd say you've had a pretty good week.
It's been fantastic. It's great to be on the court 2 times in a row for those first 2 matches for the first US Open, and you kind of can't miss that. It's been phenomenal. I can't ask for anything more.
Congratulations to you both. Enjoy the prize money, and your name will go down in the record books as the inaugural Women's Pro Division Doubles Champs. That's got to feel good. Congratulations once again to all the winners of this historic inaugural event. That just about does it from Naples. Don't forget, for more sports news and information, visit CBSSports.com. For the CBS Sports and Digital Wave production crews, I'm Dave Ben saying thanks for joining us. And be sure to save the date for the 2017 US Open Championships back right here in Naples next April 25th through the 30th. Now, go out and get yourself a PaddleTech pickleball racket and get out there and